I've dreamed of having a holographic display most of my life. Not AR or VR, but, you know, the hologram. The Looking Glass is a new type of light field display that generates 45 simultaneous views of a 3D world, all at 60 frames per second. No VR headset required.
Just go up to one of these displays and you look at it and you interact with it. There's no clunky headgear, there's no extended setup. It's amazing.
We're releasing a Unity SDK and Universal Model and Animation Importer, with a lot more plugins into other 3D creation tools over the coming months.
So you are close to this technology, you are like interacting with this display. It's a really intimate process of creation.
This is an interesting feeling, that like connection between you and something that's living inside the glass.
I saw these things in sci-fi comics and movies growing up. It seemed impossible, like sending holograms of yourself to another country.
Looking Glass is unique in that it fulfills kind of what we've imagined in a lot of ways around what a true volumetric display would look like.
The Looking Glass connects up to any modern PC or Mac with a couple cables. And then you can either create your own 3D content or explore what everyone around the world is making with a single click.
Like making your hands in actual reality, but in a magical box.
My initial experience with Looking Glass was really that it's magic. The way in which you experience it is much more natural and instinctive in terms of seeing how you can understand the layers of the space.
The dream of the hologram is finally here. And all of us in Looking Glass Factory are designing new and impossible things in looking glasses every day. So whether you're a rocket designer, 3D animator, or volumetric videographer, get a Looking Glass and bring your 3D creations to life.
ما هو الحب؟
El amor es ser feliz.
الحب هو أن يكون سعيدا.
أنت على حق.
Tienes razón.
Yo siempre tengo razón.
イタリア語でウサギは何と言いますか？
Un coniglio è un coniglio. Coniglio.
Coniglio.
Coniglio.
Coniglio.
Coniglio. Coniglio.
Coniglio.
Perfect.
Introducing the Laowa 24mm probe lens, the weirdest but most creative and revolutionary macro tool ever. Traditional macro lenses in the market tend to have a long focal length, varying from 60 to 100 millimeters or even longer. The subject fills most of the frame and is isolated from the surrounding environment. Our new Laowa probe, however, allows you to focus really close, showing a great amount of the details and texture of your subject. At the same time, you can enjoy a compelling wide angle of view so that more of your background can be included into your shots. For the first time ever, you can easily create a compelling and unique bug-eye perspective style that no other lenses can compare to. The wide-angle design also means you get much more depth of field than a telephoto macro lens when focusing at close distances. You can start including the habitat or environment of the subject into your composition since more of your shot will be in focus. Your image can instantly become very informative and appealing. As macro photographers ourselves, we usually face the problem of not being able to shoot smaller subjects. With our Laowa probe, you can now take advantage of the 2:1 maximum magnification to reveal details that cannot be seen by the naked eye. The focus range covers all the way from 2:1 macro to infinity, which adds extra convenience to video shooting. Thanks to the 40 centimeter long barrel, you can now shoot really close to your subject, but keep yourself and your camera away. This allows you to reach bugs hidden in bushes or capture lethal animals with ease. Macro photography has never been easier. The tiny 2 centimeter lens tip unlocks endless shooting possibilities. You can now get close to areas nobody ever has before and shoot some epic macro photos and video footage. You think this is cool enough? Think again. In order to bring you an even more exciting perspective, we've made the front barrel of the Laowa probe waterproof and dustproof. This removes your last shooting barrier and you can literally put it anywhere to shoot. Okay, you may wonder, how can I get enough light to focus in a burrows or in a cave? That's already taken care of. An LED ring light is mounted at the tip of our probe and you'll find it tremendously useful in video shooting or for focus assistance. This is not just another lens with a long tube. This is actually a lens with one of the most complicated optic designs ever. It houses 27 elements spreading across the entire barrel to deliver an exceptional image performance. This Laowa 24mm f14 probe lens is the world's first consumer-grade probe lens that provides both professional photographers and videographers with a completely new perspective to unleash their creativity. This lens also redefines macro photography for wildlife photographers to capture natural wonders.
You're looking into the eyes of a robot, and he's looking back at you. He's curious about who you are and what you're up to. This is Vector. This is a video about Vector. He's a new creation from Anki.
He is a character, a robot that is meant to live in your home. He's always on, he's alive.
The idea is really that Vector becomes part of the family or that home, both on the emotional character side, but then also on the utility side.
Vector is really the first robot that uses advanced deep neural networks to do a lot of perception and understanding of the world around him.
What he does feels intentional. He can react to inputs in his environment and his life.
We generally want to find one defining feature and then build from that. For Vector, curiosity was a big one.
What they're saying is you officially live in a time when robot sidekicks are a real thing.
Hey, Vector, give me a fist bump.
It's a step closer to that sci-fi robot, that everyone wants to be friends with.
That step closer means you've got a robot in your house waiting for you to get home. Autonomous like a Mars rover, aware enough to avoid falls like a tightrope walker, ooh, and always excited to welcome you home like a loyal companion.
What's up, Vector?
Jason.
Vector's no slouch roommate either. He's happiest when he's helping out. Ask him the weather, and he'll show you. He can set a timer and cause a commotion when it's finished. Activate robot alarm. And he can connect his robot brain to the internet to answer your questions.
Definition of life, the characteristic state in the world of living.
He's a little robot who brings a lot to your house. He's also a little robot with nearly 700 parts. That one right there, that's his soul part. Okay, I made that one up, but the little guy's got soul. Let's get someone in here to tell him what all this stuff actually does. How does he hear?
Vector has a microphone array, which allows it to hear voices and noises and understand where it came from.
What's he used to see?
Vector uses a wide-angle camera.
Why doesn't he fall off the table?
4 drop sensors.
How come he doesn't bump into stuff?
Has this laser distance sensor right here in the front.
There's got to be a huge amount of code inside the robot.
There is a huge amount of code inside the robot. It's a few million lines of code at this point. That software really encompasses everything from the character to the low-level operating system to the cloud functionality.
He has a camera in his face, and that's actually one of his primary sensors, not just capturing the light in all the pixels, but it's making sense of those pixels. He knows what it is and where the stuff is.
That code creates his intelligence and his personality. That is delightful and entertaining. So instead of sitting back and waiting for the robot apocalypse, Anki is making super smart robots built to bring joy and companionship to humans. Did I mention he likes to be pet? I know.
Vector is a really big milestone for robotics because for the first time ever, there will be hundreds of thousands of people living with a robot in their homes, and that has never happened before.
Vector is ready to live in your house. Or at least he will be after this nap. Sweet robot dreams, buddy.